Sing a little ditty.
Let's go with the flow.
You are very pretty. Sing a little ditty.
Singing has been really important because
Because you are pretty and everyone in town wants you dead.
The universe is within us. Everything is within us.
Dance because you're jumpy.
I have a way about these things. I can just tell.
Pray you don't get dirty.
Entire life 24/7.
Dance because you're jumpy. I hope you get happy. So I'd like to see an axe inside your head.
Remember when Kattappa killed?
You were teacher's pet in the classroom. You always got the most in croquet. Now that you're grown up and perfect, I'd thrill to serve you up your own feces on a tray.
Because the main difference is I don't care about whether someone is listening and they care about it.
Everyone in town wants you dead.
और आज ही सब्सक्राइब कीजिए Southbay.Live।
On March 19th, 2007, Justin Can did something that never happened before. He began streaming his entire life through a camera attached to his hat and a laptop rig.
Are you just as shocked as me about the fact that one guy actually livecasted his entire life 24/7 for months? Macha, how did he poop and shower and all that? Huh?
अभी बाकी है भाई।
जागे जब सवेरा आग से दूर अंधेरा काफिर थॉट था मेरा एक ही गॉड था मेरा बाप ने रोका मुझे बाद में कुछ नहीं बोला रात की बात की मेरा भाई में आंखें खोला बात सुन ध्यान से मेरी टेंशन कम ले थोड़ा याद रख खुद से तूने आज तक कुछ नहीं थोड़ा मांग ले रब से तेरे जट से भर दे झोला रात चिकरा पे मेरे आग जैसे शोला आदमी बेचारा मैं फिर हुआ दीवाना ये रैपर ही बनना था फराटा खराटा नोटों को उड़ा दूं मिटा दूं सन्नाटा।
the online gaming market in India will be worth $1 billion.
PUBG has been banned in
India is deemed as a $2 billion industry when it comes to online gaming.
PUBG Mobile really set precedent and got more than 100 million people to know what the world of esports was.
That's almost 10% of the country. That's a very big number.
There was some news that we might be hearing about PUBG coming back to India.
PUBG is like the cricket of esports now. I think it really brought back the social and social distancing.
Do you see the difference in quality between these two games? Among Us and PUBG? Have you been seeing tons and tons of memes around these baby astronauts? Think about it. Why would a bunch of baby astronauts with barely decent graphics and a simple gameplay make it one of the most played games in the world? On March 19th, 2007, Justin Can did something that never happened before. He began streaming his entire life through a camera attached to his hat and a laptop rig. The initial response to this idea was mixed. The novelty of the idea was attracted by the media, but most people didn't understand what this was all about. But soon it became very evident that the maximum engagement that he saw was when he was playing video games. And guess what? With this insight, he ended up launching Twitch in 2011 with the sole intention of broadcasting and streaming video games. Are you just as shocked as me about the fact that one guy actually livecasted his entire life 24/7 for months? Macha, how did he poop and shower and all that, huh?
People must be thinking I'm some fool, because who does this? Who goes on live streams? Like किसी को जाके बोलूँगा, if I go and tell my neighbors or if I go and tell my family friends that I go live on stream and I wouldn't even be able to explain that back in 2014 and 2015. Like there'd be such a big disconnect. Hi, my name's Rahul Induja. I go by Emmy. I'm a partnered streamer on Twitch. I was actually one of the first few partnered streamers on Twitch in India. A lot of why I started streaming began with a game called Dota 2. Now, I personally have been a professional player for almost 3 years, and that was nearly 12 or 13 years ago. When I played it, before it was even called Dota 2, it was called Dota 1. We went from 3 corridors to Dota 1 to then Dota 2. So I played it then, and right from then there was this, big issue where we couldn't share our perspectives with each other. We'd play online, and there was no replay system or anything in Dota 1. So we'd have this huge disparity where we couldn't sit and talk about the game, sit together. Okay, you did this in the game, you did this. So streaming at a very early age for me became about sharing information with the rest of my team and sharing that experience with my teammates, and then slowly starting to play ranked competitive games and watching random viewers sitting and watching me play went from being okay, I can also use it in this way, I can also use it to just showcase my skills and maybe get noticed tomorrow by another brand or by some esports organization that might want to pick me up. You never know where it goes at that point. And that's when Twitch reached out to me. Twitch India, they just set up at that time, and they reached out to me and they wanted to get me on board as one of their first partnered streamers for India. And obviously I was over the moon about it, so I instantly said yes. I have been partnered for the last 4.5 years, but I no longer stream. Throughout my partnership, mostly I streamed Arcade, the game Arcade I played. I didn't really have to grind to get up there. I was a guild leader in the game. I was, a little popular within the game. So as soon as I went live, people within the game would come and watch because people knew me within the game. So it was all like, okay, what do I say now? I'd run out of things to talk about. But slowly and surely that started evolving to a point where I'd find new and innovative ways to keep the stream entertaining. I would go on not Discord. Back then we'd have TeamSpeak, which is basically a Discord alternative. And even before TeamSpeak, we'd have like way other stuff like old Mumble. I don't know if you've heard of Mumble, but OG stuff, and we'd go on there and we'd involve more people. I'd bring 2-3 of my opponents in the game to come and talk to me about what happened today within the game and all that, and we'd try and find new and insane ways to collaborate on content that we put out. Next thing everybody within the game was suddenly talking about our team, our guild, and me, because I was like obviously spreading the message. I was the storyteller for the entire team. So for me, it just kind of spiraled out of control where I had no idea what I was doing. I had no intention for it to even go there. For me, it was a means to just chill, hang out with my friends, with my teammates, let my teammates see my screen and for us all to talk about it. And then I moved on to streaming Overwatch. Overwatch was a game that launched in 2017. I ended up playing at the World Cup for the Indian team last year in 2019. But prior to that, almost 1.5 years, I streamed Overwatch also very, very actively. And yeah, that's what my journey's been like all up until now.
Now the real question is, why did this blow up in India? And for that, we need to understand one more thing. Esports. And I sat down with a couple of my friends from the gaming industry in India, and this is what they had to say.
Sports is an ecosystem where people play games and it's a competitive sport. You win prize pool. Then there's an ecosystem of live streamers where all these live streaming platforms have come up. And in India, there are around about 9 to 10 live streaming platforms right now. And the valuations you will see in some years that the valuations will be crazy for these live streaming platforms, because people are live streaming games and people are donating, the audience are donating so much money to them in one go. You won't believe, like literally every streamer that is 2 million, 3 million plus that is working with us, they earn around 10 to 15,000 in every stream from donations. And this is the kind of craziness the fans have to, be a part of, comment something about this streamer to get noticed.
So when the lockdown happened, everyone was indoors, right? People were off from school, from colleges, from work. They suddenly had more time on their hands than they ever did before. and the best way to connect at that point was through video games. So we saw such a huge spike in the user base, in the amount of time spent in the game, in the amount of money that people spent on the game. So their user retention rates, their daily active users, all of these spiked. And PUBG Mobile was a very important reason. And during that time also we were having the PMPL scrims, then we went on to have the entire PMPL and then the World League. So all those factors put together gave all the viewers and the audience an activity to do. Here they were not only spending time playing the game, they were evolving from playing the game to consuming content around it, to watching tutorials, to seeing all pro players compete, and also to consume a lot of content, whether it was entertaining or informational. So it put them into this habit, and then you had the entire esports ecosystem layered on top of it, where they could watch their favorite content creators as well as players compete at a stage for lakhs of prize money and hundreds of thousands of dollars. PUBG came at a very opportune time. So one, it was on devices that everyone could afford. You didn't need to go out and specifically buy a gaming PC or a gaming laptop or spend thousands or lakhs of rupees on really expensive gear. All you had to do was install the game on the mobile phone you already had. Just the fact that it was so accessible. Secondly, the fact that the game was free. You didn't have to have any upfront cost. Obviously, you could pay and get cosmetics in the game, but the game by itself was free. You could compete at the highest stage tier without ever having to spend a single rupee in the game. And then thirdly, with the advent of the internet, Jio really came in at the time where 4G technology became so accessible at a price which was cheaper than anywhere else in the world. So all these factors put together really provided a great platform for PUBG to grow and expand its reach to people it normally would not have got. So if PUBG had released a few years earlier or a few years later, it may not have had the combination of all these three things at that time. PUBG Mobile really set precedent and got more than 100 million people to know what the world of esports was.
When PUBG was banned, there was 175 million users every day. That's almost 10% of the country. That's a very big number. So economically, it's a very big market for streaming platforms as well.
Streaming became a means for esports to really get out there. The big medium, like how the television became the main medium for sports, to become an entertainment industry by itself. That's what streaming did for esports. Streaming became a very, very, very cheap alternative. And I think that's kind of why streaming and esports both kind of worked into each other's norms, and they kind of just merged in, and it just became a very, how do I put this? It was like a match made in heaven. So it provided this, this entire ecosystem that people could really be part of. And they could engage with them, they could talk to them on stream, they could, cheer and chat and connect with other people. I think it really brought back the social and social distancing.
On September 2nd, one of India's most played game, PUBG, got banned. It was around the same time that the not-so-popular game Among Us started seeing a meteoric rise globally. Among Us is a multiplayer game where between 4 and 10 players are dropped onto an alien spaceship. Each player is designated a private role as a crewmate or an imposter. Crewmates must run around the ship and try to complete a set of tasks while trying to root out and avoid getting killed by one or several imposters. Players can get voted off the ship, so each game technically becomes the one of surviving. Successfully vote off the imposters or complete all of your tasks to win the game. It's simple, cartoony and easy enough for even a 5-year-old to play the game on a phone. It's a light-hearted crime solver, not some gory 4K game that only some people want to play, and sometimes it's important to take it easy and stop shooting people. While games like COD and PUBG mainly focused on multiplayer online battle arena, Among Us simply focused on the need to read personalities and determine if they are being lied to in order to win. Come to think about it, it's a life skill for every person to have.
Hi, my name is Karthik. I like Among Us because
it connects people to a different level.
You just ask them, shall we play? And they're all in every time.
Only way to get all of my friends online at the same time.
With Among Us, you don't have to have those gamer skills. You can just use your intelligence and have fun with it.
And occasionally betray and murder people.
It's really fun to sabotage and kill people.
I get to kill my friends.
You can't predict who's going to win or who's the imposter or anything in certain.
But at the same time, it's terribly hard to make it seem like you're it or overtly sus. And figuring out each other's telltale signs as an imposter is one of the best parts of playing that game.
So after a long day of being quiet and working, I get to scream and yell and kill people and get better at lying. So that's a lot of fun. Just blaming each other left and right. It's also thrilling. There's a lot of strategies, loopholes, arguments, and the detective work is something that I love the most.
I think that's the only game where my lying skills are appreciated.
You want to keep playing it again and again until you become the imposter and get to kill all your friends around and eventually win. So that is a really satisfying feeling which you get eventually.
Because it's a game that not only allows you to interact and play with your friends despite the whole distance that we're facing right now, but at the same time it makes it feel like we're all right next to each other. The giggling, the sneaky planning, the laughing.
Just great to act all innocent and then blame everybody else. The amount of friendships that this is going to ruin, it's a great game.
"2020 has also taught us that we cannot control everything. No, cross that, we cannot control anything." Both of you know me pretty well. Remember when Kattappa killed Bahubali in 2015 and your life lost meaning for a while? He saw Bahubali recently and he could not stop raving about it.
Sanitizer.
Hey!
I
knew that one. Please welcome Sania Mirza and Prakash Amritraj. How the did you think you could do this being a fashion?
Baking when I was 6.
Coming back to life.
और आज ही सब्सक्राइब कीजिए Southbay.Live।
I don't know what the I'm doing right now, but let's go with the flow. नमस्कार, मैं राणा दग्गुबाटी दुनिया के सबसे irrelevant शो में आपका स्वागत है. It's called Why Are You? Why Are You? Why Are You? Why Are You? Single people to dash in isolation.
Sex, everybody!
Play Ludo.
Don't care.
So I think only I exist and the world doesn't exist. Even Rana doesn't exist. So you're just a figment of my imagination.
If you were a product, what product would you be?
I would be an aura spray. I would be crystal infused water.
How quickly do you think we need to get back to work based on how we are?
I should have been working 1 month ago.
Chala complicated question, Rana.
It's a very accelerated show.
Mic check 1 2. Why are you?
లోకం ఏచింది నాకింకా లోకంతో పని ఏముంది డోంట్ కేర్
आज ही सब्सक्राइब कीजिए Southbay.Live.
Just when you think you're starting to figure it out, they change the rules of the game. But I'll tell you the funniest thing about us humans. Shockingly, we are survivors. Really, think about it for a second. From sad breakups to split ends to noisy neighbors, we have survived 100% of our bad days, and slowly but surely, we are coming back to life. 2020 has also taught us that we cannot control everything. No, cross that, we cannot control anything. And we can all make the plans we want to make, but at the end of the day, we got to leave it up to destiny. My guests today are both epitomes of destiny winning over plans. You have seen her in a whole variety of roles in Bollywood and South industry movies. She has created a niche for herself through a series of impressive, unconventional and standout roles in films. I have known her for decades now, and I cannot imagine she was on her road to being an engineer once upon a time. My second guest tonight is also a former pre-med student, but he too decided to pursue theatre and acting. He has been a household name in America with his fine performance in Heroes. He has consistently impressed his audience since then. And most recently, the young kids on the block cannot get enough of him after Mindy Kaling's Never Have I Ever. So excited to welcome almost engineer Taapsee Pannu and almost doctor Senthil Ramamurthy. Welcome them. Taapsee meets Senthil, Senthil meets Taapsee.
Hello.
There you go.
Hi, I've seen you on TV.
Thank you. I saw you in pink.
Okay.
That's nice. I love that you have seen each other's shows without a lot of delay. I'm going to get into it because I have like postcards full of stuff that I want to ask you. I'm going to start off with a first fun game. I hope you had some coffee, Senthil. So this is a gibberish game, okay? So you have to figure out what it is.
Then I got no problem. Fear off messing out?
Fear of messing out?
It's
I don't
close.
know.
Really? Both of you give up? This is the lockdown edition.
Fear off. Go
Come on,
away.
Senthil, please. At least someone needs to answer this. Come on, Senthil.
Fear off.
Okay.
Go away.
This is gibberish. You're not supposed to try translating it, or like it's not like you have to know the meaning of it.
It sounds like.
Fear of messing out. Fear of messing out. Fear of missing out. Okay. Now I get the game.
All right.
Oh, okay. Finally.
Yeah. Now I've got it.
Okay. Taapsee, you did a lot of this at home. Lockdown.
What is her or? Her or us? Is it us or us?
Who are you?
Cheers. From India. Huh?
It's who are you? Cheers.
House chores.
Yeah! Taapsee gets a point.
Oh, see, I don't do any of that.
I'm too good.
These are quarantine words. It's not all over the place. It's very specific too.
Got it.
Zoelfi Sule something. Zoelfi Sule. Why is it?
Guys, I'm going ahead.
Self-isolation.
There's a reason I didn't play all of this on
This is the only way I
Instagram.
can make myself look more smart.
It's way too early for this.
I know,
You only live once.
You only live once.
You only live once. I said
I think Taapsee got that point too.
Yeah. I'm going to be honest. I heard her say it and then just said it real quick after.
Kudos to being honest, Senthil.
I'm very competitive.
Sanitizer.
Hey!
I knew that one. I'm a few steps behind.
My girl rocks. I wanted to start with a typical Desi question. Okay, so both of you you would have been the perfect Desi parent's dream come true. You almost a doctor and you almost engineer. And how hard was it to first have that conversation with your parents?
It was not fun.
Really?
Yeah, no, it was because it kind of came out of the blue. It came out of nowhere for them.
Because you were in pre-med, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's not like I had this, huge love for acting or drama or any of the performing arts. As far as
growing up.
Nothing. I played tennis. That's what I did. I was a competitive tennis player, and that was kind of my focus. And acting, singing, dancing, any kind of performing, I never did it. I never did any of this stuff until college. And in college,
is that where the acting bug bit you?
Yeah, and it didn't even bite me. And it was I had to take a arts class to graduate. I had to have an arts credit to graduate from college.
Mm-hmm.
And I got to my junior year, which is the third year of university, and my faculty advisor was like, you need to take an arts credit like right away, or you're not going to graduate. Like you need to do something. And so I did intro to acting to satisfy the only reason I took the class. And I almost never went to the class.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't, it was a lot of the history of theater and the history of, it wasn't a lot of performing, it was an introductory acting class. It wasn't, they weren't there to make you into Laurence Olivier. They were just kind of giving you a very basic, sketch of what theater was. And so it was like the history of the proscenium arch and how stages were built. And it was just so boring. And so I just, I didn't really go to the class. But a portion of your grade was you had to audition for one of the university productions, the plays. You didn't have to get the part or anything. You just had to go do the audition and get the person to sign your paper saying you did the audition, and then that covered what you needed for your class. And so I went and I auditioned for this play called Our Country's Good. I went there, I was hungover, didn't care. And those are the ones you get, right? Once you become an actor, the ones you don't care about are the ones you get, right? And so I did it, and I got the part. And I told the director straight up, it was this British guy named Anthony Cornish. I said, I don't want to do this. I'm doing this to graduate. I'm going to medical school, and like, that's it. Just please sign my paper and let's get on with it. And yeah. And he was like, I'll recast. He's like, you weren't that good. Like, I got no problem finding somebody else, but this is college and you're supposed to try new things. So why don't you just give it a shot? And so amazingly, I listened and I did it. And from the first rehearsal, I thought it was the greatest thing I'd ever done. I loved every second of it. I managed to squeeze in one more play while I was at university, not with the same director, but that guy, Anthony Cornish, he said, you've got something and you should apply to drama school, and you should go to the UK because there's people who look like you on stage and on TV in the UK. And I didn't see anybody who looked like me on TV or in film in the US.
In America.
Or on stage.
Or on stage, you're right.
So he helped me with my auditions. I did, what did I do? I did Glengarry Glen Ross and Othello. And and then what I didn't know is you also had to sing a song. And I just kind of like spaced on the song portion of the audition. And I did the two pieces, and they're like, okay, and your song. Yeah, my song, like I didn't want to act like I didn't know I was supposed to do a song. And so the first song that popped into my head was Every Breath You Take by the Police. So I just started singing Every Breath You Take. I was like, every breath you take, every move. They're like, okay, thank you. They stopped me after like 5 words. They stopped me, and I was like, okay, so I'm not getting into drama school, but I guess they saw something and they let me in.
Wow. And then your parents were okay? That conversation?
No, they were super not okay. And so I told them that I auditioned for this drama school and I've gotten in, and I didn't tell them. I took a Peter Pan bus from Boston to New York, and I did the audition for drama school. They held the auditions at the United Nations building in New York, at the United Nations school in New York. And I did it, and then I didn't tell them until I got in. And then I told them, I got in and I'm going to London, like in 4 months, and I'm going to drama school. And it was really just kind of like a ton of
This is how we raised you, my boy. You have such a future.
And this was like my senior year. that I did this. This is like
Wow.
3 months before I was supposed to graduate. I told them this. They were really upset. And then amazingly, they kind of came around. They were like, okay, if this is what you really want to do, then you can give it a shot, because you'll have regrets if you don't do it.
Wow, that's nice.
And we will pay for it. We'll pay for, because I was like, I'm going to have to like borrow money, like take out loans, whatever, to pay for drama school. And they're like, and we'll pay for it. But the deal is, if you haven't done anything by the time you're 30, if you're not kind of making a living and doing your thing, then you got to move on. You know, it's not a good look to be like a 50-year-old man trying to land
Indian man, mind you.
Exactly. You know, trying to land a Colgate commercial. You know, it's not. It's not a good thing. So I said, deal. You know, and so I went and I did it, and they came to every like performance that I did. They came to every play. I did, you know, almost solely theater for years and years.
Yes.
And then 30, before I knew it, was coming up, and I was definitely not making enough money to support myself, you know. And I thought, I guess this is it, you know. I'm gonna have to find something new to do. And then I auditioned for Heroes, and it just kept going and going and going. I kept auditioning. I had to screen test 5 times, and then I got it, and that kind of changed everything. And that was when I was 30.
Wow.
Yeah, so I was ready to pack it in. Yeah.
Wow. Taapsee not yet 30. Oh, she just turned 30. I know that. Yes. You are.
So you've already accomplished a lot of stuff before 30.
Yeah.
You're way ahead of the curve.
Yeah, I think my strongest line in my hand is the luck line. I guess I give a lot of credit to that as well.
Okay.
I think my story, you know, mostly. So it's more like it's for Sendil and for everyone else who's listening.
I know everything about you.
Know it.
I have to frame questions differently. Like I can't cut through, bypass. I have to start properly. Yeah. Taapsee is my find. I introduced her into movies.
Oh, wow.
I'm her first producer. Yeah.
Oh, very cool. Okay.
Yeah, so there should be like certain perspective answers which you should be giving, and I should just be listening then. But because your perspective will be different from how I see things, because we were on different sides of the table at that time.
Yes.
So yeah, I mean, my parents, I mean, it's very similar. Some things are very similar to Sendil. The fact that I never ever took part in any school play, drama, skit, nothing, not even in college. I'm an engineer, so I was like, I wanted to become an engineer. I loved studying. I loved maths. I loved my physics. And I was only into dancing since I was a kid. I used to do stage performances in Indian classical dancing. And that's what really, I think, got me to give those expressions and just be fearless in front of camera or people, but never acting, never drama, never dialogues, none of those. So when I was in college and doing pretty well, and then suddenly I was like, I don't think I can work in a 9-to-5 job every day for the rest of my life. So I think I need to do something different maybe. But now I'm in my second year of engineering, and I can't quit. That won't go down well with anyone. So I thought, okay, let me just like do something on the side. And in second year here in India, when you are in second year, you are 18 years old, and you can start working side by side, right? So I got my portfolio clicked. I started doing modeling, because in an engineering college, among 60 people in one class, there are only 10 girls, and even if you're average looking there, you're supposed to be the biggest diva. So everyone makes you feel like you're the most beautiful looking girl, because there are barely any girls in engineering. So everyone's like, oh, you look very pretty. You should get pictures clicked, and maybe you can do modeling. So I was like, oh yeah, I think I look very pretty. Let's go and get pictures clicked. So I got pictures clicked, and that's when so I got a lot of assignments for print photo shoots immediately after, I think the next day itself. when I got my portfolio clean. Did a lot of ads only for the sake of pocket money and just to keep doing something different. And by the time I finished my graduation, I started getting calls from South to do a lot of Tamil and Telugu films. And I was like, I remember telling them on phone that I don't know how to act and I don't even know your language. I don't know why you think I'll be capable of doing. And they were like, no, don't worry. You come here, we'll teach you. I was like, they look more confident about my acting skills than I am. So I was like, let's jump into it and let's try, because
I saw an ad of yours. I think it was a mixie grinder.
Yes. It was
blender.
Yes, it was an ad I did. I think because of those ads that people started seeing me around quite a lot, and then then I started getting those calls. So I went down and I went to Hyderabad. I met all of them there. And I was like a sheep in the big city, because I just I didn't even finish my graduation. I was in my final year ending days when I was just talking to everyone. I was about to give my exams, and then immediately after my exams got over, I went down and got the pictures clicked in the look, and they gave me lines, but I was terrible in mouthing those lines because I had no idea how to deliver dialogues. But something clicked, maybe. I don't know. You should ask them what and why did it click so well that they decided to pick this girl. And then,
but you know, you were
debuted.
picked. You were picked by one of the top directors. You know, I had auditioned for that film about 25 girls, and there were girls that I really liked that I wanted to cast in the film. But there was something in you that, you know, K. Raghavendra Rao, who brought Bahubali to us, you know, so there was something about you. I mean, even before we gave the Heroes ad out, we sent yours out. We really launched you and how. Like, it wasn't just, you know.
What Tapasi's saying is true, though, in that you do have to have somebody believing in you, even if you maybe don't believe in yourself, especially when you're starting out. You know, you need somebody to take a chance on you, somebody who sees something that maybe you don't see in yourself. And I think that's the key for anybody who's had any kind of success is, you know, you see something in this person and you say, okay, let's just take a shot. It's not that they see this person 100% is going to be a huge success. Like, there's something there. Let's take a punt. Let's take a chance and see what happens.
She didn't know the difference between an eyeliner and mascara. Like, she had no clue.
I don't know the difference.
You don't need to, but a girl
mascara. I have no idea.
I don't know what I'm doing right now, but let's go with the flow. नमस्कार, मैं राणा दग्गुबाटी। दुनिया के सबसे irreverent शो में आपका स्वागत है। It's called Why Are You? Why Are You? Why Are You? Why Are You? Single people to dash in isolation.
Everybody!
Play Ludo.
Don't care!
So I think only I exist and the world doesn't exist. Even Rana doesn't exist. So you're just a figment of my imagination.
If you were a product, what product would you be?
I would be an aura spray. I would be crystal infused water.
How quickly do you think we need to get back to work based on how we are?
I should have been working 1 month ago.
Chala complicated question, Rana guys.
It's a very X-rated show.
Mic check 1 2. Why are you?
ఈ లోకం ఏడ్చింది నాకింకా లోకంతో పని ఏముంది డోంట్ కేర్
आज ही सब्सक्राइब कीजिए Southbay.Live
breathing. We all breathe, yet we rarely pay attention to it. Conscious breathing is known to reduce stress, improve health and performance. No matter if you are young, old, an athlete, a business person, work or study at home, Remind can help you with small yet effective tools that trigger big changes. Developed by an Olympic gold medalist, backed by world-class entrepreneurs and scientists, the Remind app and website connect you with like-minded individuals from all over the world. Download the free Remind app and join a global community for guided breathwork sessions. Every day our community breathe in sync on the Remind app. You can also upload your own breathing sessions to share with the world. Take the first step to live a longer, more purposeful life.
मेरा नाम डिंगो है और ये सब राम गोपाल वर्मा की गलती है।
Don't care. అంతములేని ఈ భువనమంత పురాతన పాంధశాల. నో పాంధశాల కాదు, పానశాల. విశ్రాంతి గృహము అందు ఇరు సంజలు రంగుల వాకిళ్ళు. ధరా పాదుషాలు బహరాం జమిషీడులు వేనవేలుగా కొంత సుఖించిపోయిరెటకు, కొంత సుఖించిపోయిరెటకు ఎటకు.
So Dorana is missing. Where is he? Ekkadunnadu? We must find him. Kahan hai wo Dorana?
दोराना कहाँ है? आखिर कहाँ है दोराना? कहाँ है दोराना? आखिर कहाँ है दोराना? है इतना बड़ा सेलिब्रिटी कहते, इतना सक्सेसफुल सबसे बड़ा शो है यूरेनस में कहते हैं उसका, उन्होंने कहाँ चले गया? डिसअपेयर हो गया कहते थिनर में. किधर गया? किसके साथ गया? क्या हुआ? मालूम करना है तो मेरे साथ चलो. मैं बिल्ला द रिपोर्टर बोल रहा हूँ यहाँ पर. मेरे साथ साथ चलो, हाथ पकड़ के पर्दाफाश करेंगे सच का.
ਦੁਰਾਨਾ ਆਊਟ ਆਫ ਦ ਬਲੂ ਥੋੜੀ ਗੁੰਮ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ ਸੀਗਾ. ਉਹ ਕੈਂਸਲ ਆਰਮੀ ਨੇ ਕੀਤਾ ਸੀ. ਇਹ ਬਹੁਤ ਹੀ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਕੈਲਕੂਲੇਟਡ ਅਟੈਕ ਸੀਗਾ ਕੈਂਸਲ ਆਰਮੀ ਦੀ ਤਰਫੋਂ. ਐਵਰੀ ਗੈਸਟ ਦੈਟ ਦੇ ਇੰਟਰਵਿਊਡ, ਇਹ ਵਾਲਾ, ਇਹ ਵਾਲਾ, ਇਹ ਵਾਲਾ, ਇਹ ਵੀ, ਆਲ ਆਫ them received threats from cancel army. ਇਹ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਸੀ ਭੈਣ ਇਹ ਕੈਂਸਲ ਆਰਮੀ ਹੈ. They literally wrote cancel army on one of the crime scenes. What I'm about to tell you might put my life in danger, but up to Mari. Also, I think Dr. Propaganda had something to do with this.
ऐसा कैसा बोल रहे आप?
Listen, there's a video.
నేను పుట్టాను లోకం మెచ్చింది, నేను ఏడ్చాను లోకం నవ్వింది, నేను నవ్వాను ఈ లోకం ఏడ్చింది, నాకింకా లోకంతో పని ఏముంది. డోంట్ కేర్.
Sanuki sir. Hello, Sanuki beta, Sanuki, how are you? What a wonderful show, full enjoy.
Thank you sir. ఏం లేదు సార్, చిన్న మ్యాటర్ ఉంది.
Nothing, sir. I just keep reading these allegations against you about FOS and animal rights. So I was thinking you'd like to come to our show. ఒకసారి చిన్న చిట్ చాట్ చేస్తే బాగుంటుందని అనుకుంటున్నా. Dorana, see, you're a very good friend. Sir, hello. Hello. Sir, can you hear me? Hello. 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 వినిపిస్తుందా? Hello. 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 Sir, I made a show. Will you come? Hello. I'm sorry, Dorana. समझ में नहीं आ रहा है. What you're saying? So I was thinking you'd like to come to our show.
और इस शो ने यूरेनस की धज्जियां उड़ा दी. देखो भाई हम ना बहुत कांटेक्ट करे मिनिस्ट्री को कि एक कमेंट होना भाई डॉक्टर प्रोपेगेंडा का बोलने के तो क्या बोल रहे हैं वहां रे पूरे दरख्वास्तों को बर्खास्त कर दिए. इतना रगड़ा रगड़ा के आगे लेके गए मामले को. हम सारा पैरा पढ़ लेके 2-4 गेस्ट को लेके आए. इनके इंटरव्यूज है ये फाइनली. तो मैडम आप बता रहे थे कि ये सब चालू कैसे हुआ?
You know, it was the the 4th episode. All of us started getting threats. There was so much tension, and then this Rana calls and says he's hosting a dinner. I was worried, man, you know, but then he assured me that the location was a secret and there wouldn't be stress about any of the safety. Now look where that don't stress in it, this is all this assuring did to me. What the heck?
मुझे ना पता ही था कि ऐसा कुछ होगा. जब उसने मुझे कॉल करके आइडिया बताया ना, I knew he's gonna get fucked.
மச்சான் எனக்கு தெரியும் மச்சான், எனக்கு நல்லா தெரியும். அவன் கால் பண்ணி சொல்லும் போதே அந்த ஐடியா சொல்லும் போதே தெரியும் உம்மால அவன் பாவம்ப்பா யாரெல்லாம் அவன்கிட்ட மாட்ட போறாங்கன்னு தான் தெரியல. வெயிட் பண்ணி பார்ப்போம்.
I have a way about these things. I can just tell. I'm telling you. Are you ready? I'm telling you that someone ratted us out. Yep. There is no way in hell that those bloody terrorists found out without someone tipping them off. I mean, I'm telling you, it was... I know who it was. I know. What's his name? The dog Dingo? You know, he's cute and all, but I think it's him. He sold us out.
डिंगो कौन है?
He is the public enemy number 1.
ARA का नंबर 1 स्पीकर है भाई, रिफॉर्म स्पीकर. ऐसा किराक स्पीचा देता ना इंसानों के खिलाफ स्पीचा देता हूँ. उसके किराक स्पीचा सुन के ना पूरे जानवरों को सर पे बैठा लिया, उसको भगवान बना लिया उसको साले को. स्पीकर बनने से पहले क्या था मालूम उन्हों? ड्राइवर था जी दोराना का.
आजकल बड़ा सोच समझ के बोलना पड़ता है ना, कभी भी किसी को भी बुरा लग सकता है. खैर अनुपम. सबसे पहली धमकी मुझे आई थी राम गोपाल वर्मा जिस दिन आया था इंटरव्यू के लिए, उस दिन सबसे पहला अटैक यू कैन से that happened, and they left a patta, dude. Like that was a message for me that I understood. That means they wanted to control us. It was a message, you know. It wasn't the patta. I'm not scared to wear a patta. I'm wearing that dupatta always. But yeah, that was scary. But तो उस दिन जब मैं राम गोपाल वर्मा को लेने जा रहा था, I had this feeling कि कुछ गलत होने वाला है. And to be honest, like I still remember that day like yesterday. Yeah, like yesterday.
So, sir, welcome to Uranus.
Yes, sir. Thanks. I mean, yeah.
So, the show is Why Are You? And that's my first question to you. Why are you?
Why are you? Okay, that's a very complex question, sir.
Yenduku Ram Gopal Verma.
Indukura Putev. I guess, there was an unfortunate moment when my father and mother kind of, maybe the planets were not going in the right direction and a lot of bad omens occurred, and I think something sparked off, and then I fell out on my head. That explains my eccentricity.
That is why you are.
Yes.
Why does Ram Gopal Verma exist? Ani oka third person laga chusi. Did you ever think of it?
See, I honestly believe, the world is from your perception. What I mean is, I'm looking at it through my eyes and I'm hearing you through my ears and I'm touching this phone with the sense of my touch. And the senses are nothing but becomes your consciousness. So I think only I exist and the world doesn't exist. Even Rana doesn't exist. So you're just a figment of my imagination.
So you might as well just marry a figment of your imagination.
So Ante, it is Ram Gopal Verma and whatever he thinks is around is around.
It is only my brain is existing and everything else is non-existent. So then
K. Joe in RGV's vision. Good idea. Show national chehta hu.
प्रोड्यूसर पையனா फर्स्ट ही दुबती पेशवारे
सर मैं सोच रहा था ये शो तो अच्छा चल रहा है तो मैं घर चले जाता हूँ जब इनको वापस छोड़ना होगा मैं आ जाऊंगा
मुस्कुन कुछ बे
ओके सर थैंक यू बाय बाय
So okay, let's get real. COVID-19. Are you taking any safety measures at all?
Not at all. I haven't used the sanitizer, the mask or anything because I'm basically a highly egoistic guy. I'd rather die of the disease than trying to be scared of it. And I also do a lot of very harmful things otherwise personally. So COVID is not even in reckoning there. I take risks of where the death rate is probably 50 to 80%. This is only since 2 or 3%. I don't really care about it.
Apparently, you were a backbencher in school, like most are. But did you ever think if you were a frontbencher, what would you have been?
No, I always thought the frontbenchers are wimps, and I always look under the people who are sitting in the backbenches. That was always my general belief. The only time I actually started taking interest is in my 7th standard about this one social studies teacher. She was the first person who actually aroused interest in studies.
So that's the only thing you paid attention to?
Yeah.
Social studies. So you got bullied a lot, Ramu, in school when you were young?
Yeah, kind of. I wouldn't say a lot, but maybe I had a fair share of being bullied, and which is the reason I developed a fascination for tough guys. I used to love the people who pull hair and throw chalk pieces at the teacher and then, give tap keys from behind. I used to love them, and that love story transitioned to rowdies and gangsters after that.
So did you ever take revenge back after many years and stuff?
Not in school, but college, yes. In fact, when they used to be shocked because they realized I was a bigger bully. Now I'm a bigger bully than they were in school. So I can't complain to them anymore since I am doing the same stuff.
So did you ever use your gangster connect to do personal stuff?
No. But to be honest, probably it implied. See, implied strength is very different compared to actually applying it. Yeah. The fact that I know some people is what people would perceive, in a sense. Yeah.
So Einstein says that he slept 4 hours a night only.
Yeah.
And so do you. Do you think there's some comparison there?
But Einstein is a genius and I'm just a crackpot. So I don't think there's a connection there.
Dali? Sali.
But I actually don't sleep even 4 hours. I keep on waking up every 20-25 minutes, even in those 4 hours.
Apparently Hitler did that.
Really? I think you're making it up. I'm sure you're making it up, I think this whole point of this exercise is to characterize me as a crackpot, eccentric, mad fellow.
But Ram, I don't have to do that. I can go to your tweets and then it's a far more animatable show than this, I think.
But sir, coming to my tweets, I think there are only 2 people in the world who actually do random tweets and completely meaningless sometimes. or me and the President of the United States. I think I am elevated to that status, no matter what other jokers think.
Okay, so in most of your personal interviews, there's always a discussion of porn. So I said, I must talk about it.
Yeah.
So tell me, what's your favorite genre?
Favorite genre? I mean, I think I've got too many genres, man. Lesbian porn for sure is one. Yeah, because I love more, because I love women, I love to see more of women, you know. And I think maybe threesomes, orgies, everything. I mean, actually everything, except for where violence is there, except for where demeaning or degrading a woman is there. I guess pretty much everything else I like, yeah.
So do you think they deserve like public domain, like Oscar?
Lesbian porn for sure is one. Yeah, because I love more, because I love women, I love to see more of women. Yeah.
Okay. Tell me, what's the most disturbing aspect of being a human being?
I think because as human beings, we are disgusted with quite a lot of other creatures like cockroaches and mosquitoes and snakes and whatnot, you know. I think we are the only guys who are disgusted with the existence of other living beings, which I don't think any other living being thinks like that. Because they might just take someone as a natural enemy or ignore. But disgust only exists in human beings. Yeah.
Can you tell me, how excited were you when you became a civil engineer?
Chills. Only time when I was a civil engineer which excited me is I used to watch the women construction laborers. And as far as engineering goes, I didn't even know the mixture of cement concrete after doing 4 years of engineering, yeah. But it was worth it to see the construction laborers because I'm a mass guy.
Mass guy. Okay. You had a video rental store in Hyderabad.
Yeah.
So, did you do a lot of piracy when you were younger?
Yes. What do you mean younger? I mean, whenever I was doing, I did a piracy. I mean, see, because the point is, I'm not trying to justify myself. Video library, by definition, was piracy at that time. It is not like a lot of your granddad's films. And Subhash's and Ramanadi films are pirated a lot.
Thank you. Ramo, out of all the controversies that you keep bringing up, right, like you're always involved in, what's your favorite?
My favorite is GST, with a film I shot with Mia Malkova, the porn star. Because I love to irritate people and shock people and shake up their cultural values and moral values. I just love that, you know. Yeah.
And all of this is releasing in RGB world?
I'm falling in love.
Hey Dingo, क्या कर रहा है? Hey Dingo, क्या कर रहा है?
Sorry. Tell us about RGB world. How was it born?
See, I always wanted no loss of translation between me and the guy I want to tell a story to. So I feel on a one-to-one conversation, I generally tend to be more effective. Okay, so RGB world will be just an extension of my mind in terms of kind of content I make, and it will only have things which I like, and I'm only targeting the people who like my kind of content, which means there won't be rom-coms, which I hate rom-coms, you know, and I hate family films, I hate inspirational films, you know. And I hate sex comedies because it takes sex very seriously.
So it's it's like fully democratic now. So you want to make your film, release it in your own theater?
I just want to basically make it like, you know, I'm like an Al-Qaeda or ISIS, like small terrorist groups will become an RGB world and declare war on America's like Rana Daggubati and Karan Johar.
See, I am dharma and they have to deal with their karma. I always feel if you screw me over, my dharma will take care of your karma.
Okay. That's my program next week, the RGB world.
To attack.
Attack, okay. So in this lockdown, people were only discussing about when they'll go back for shootings. And I saw 4 posters of yours releasing soon. What is this? How is it possible?
That's because, see, when they said don't shoot films, but they never said what they will do. No, when they didn't tell the repercussion, I thought, let me go ahead and see it and what will happen. And I did it and I announced it also that the film is entirely shot during lockdown, and so far no one called me on that, which means I was right. So it's like saying, no, don't do it. Don't do it. Like parents say a lot of stuff, don't do it, but we never listen to them. So likewise, I thought the government was a parent and it only said don't do it, unless it specified what it will do. So I thought it's okay to shoot. And since I'm a filmmaker, my job is to make films. So I will not allow some fucking coronavirus to stop me doing my work.
So there's always an intriguing poster of a half Gandhi, half Hitler in your office. Is that you in some ways? Is there a Gandhi in you?
I think every one of us has two opposite sides in us. One we tend to hide depending on situations, and it comes out when the conditions are favorable. Like the very fact that Godse was admirer of Gandhi at a certain time before he turned a killer, that itself proves a point, one of the examples. I think all of us are.
If you had to start a rumor right now about you,
yeah,
what would that be?
I died with coronavirus. I think people will jump and dance. I mean, they won't even care about corona. They'll come out and dance in the rain, I think.
But there's another 10% of people who miss the vintage Ramu, who made all the cool Shivas and Satyas and all that. What happened to him? What do you have? You have anything to say to them?
I said many times, the same thing, I don't know what to repeat again. See, I said all my hit films are accidents. All the flops I made are intention. So I can't give a better answer than that. So once they understand that, they can't ask me, what happened to you? You made those films. Yeah, I'm telling you.
Okay.
Sir, you are laughing at everything I'm saying. You are hurting me, sir.
अरे कोई नहीं है घर पे बोला ना कोई नहीं है अरे तेरे बात ना समझ आ रही भूतनी के बोल तो दिया नहीं है घर पे कोई
पर कहाँ है दोराना?
Don't care.
Hello. Hello, hi, it's not Dorana, but it's one Rana that's here. Is it live now? Yeah. You don't understand why this is, because it's freedom of speech. It's every filmmaker should get to make what he or she likes, and I thought I should be the first to start off with the show like this. That's why are you? So you guys tell me about Under25. Did you like the piece of Under25? Hi Prashant, hi Sriram, hi Vinay. Vinay, I saw you yelling at me earlier, but it's cool. Venkat Balaji, hello. Nirusha, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the ones who like it. Thank you for addressing Cancel Army. Yes, we will have a lot more of Cancel Army coming soon. Now, why are you to tell stories? This is why I am. I keep telling stories in long form, short form, and all forms, and here you go. This is why I am. Hello, Karnool Lincha. Hello, Bonara. Why Chiranjeevi garu on ENR song? ఎందుకంటే నా యూనివర్స్లో అందరూ ఉంటారు. ఎన్టీ రామారావు గారు, ఏఎన్ఆర్ గారు, చిరంజీవి గారు, everybody, all of them built my head and my universe. So that's why, and you will see a lot more of them soon. Dope animation. Okay, well, all that is to Sid, the crazy man I met on the internet, and that's why this show began. Aha. This is such a wacky concept. You want me to do a film on this? Yeah, sure. There will be a Why Are You film summer next year. Why are you not saying my name? Madhu, there you go. Yes, I can say my name. Sorry, I've said your name. Bharat, what's up? Hi, Bharat. So, yes, Bharat, the Under25 team is from Bangalore, and it's Anto who is the host of the show. And yes, you will see a lot more short content and episodes from U25 News. Yes, we started with Lakshmi Manchu's talk show, and we will also have shows based on music coming up next month. Why did I choose Uranus? Because I never saw Uranus, and I thought it looked like this. How frequent is this going to be? Well, I'm going to do festive drops. So this is a Diwali drop for you guys. We will do a Christmas drop, and we'll also do a Sankranti drop. And after that, we'll start becoming more and more regular. And we'll try to own the whole Sunday. Who voiced Dingo? Keep guessing. You can follow him on his Instagram page. So on talking. So go find out who Dingo is. So yes, for everybody who's interested in animation, you can reach out to us on our website or our Instagram handles at Southbay.Live, and we will be happy to take your stories. Make sure you guys become filmmakers and storytellers on this platform. Thank you. Yes, this is hi Sai. This is yes to collaborate. Yes, to get people like mainstream actors and others to collaborate with influencers. తెలుగులో ఎందుకు మాట్లాడలేదు? అందరు ఇంగ్లీష్లో అడుగుతున్నారు, మాకు అందుకే ఇంగ్లీష్లో మాట్లాడుతున్నా. నన్ను తెలుగులో అడిగితే తెలుగులో అయితే చెప్తాను. థ్యాంక్ యూ సో మచ్. ఈ షోలో ఇంకా చాలా మంది గెస్ట్లు ఉన్నారు. ఇట్ విల్ స్టార్ట్ ఆఫ్ విత్ మీకు ఈరోజు రామ్ గోపాల్ వర్మ గారితో స్టార్ట్ అయింది. దే విల్ బి కరణ్ జోహర్ గారు, దే విల్ ఆల్సో బి కంగనా, దే విల్ బి నర్గిస్ ఫక్రీ, దే విల్ బి రాజా కుమారి, దే విల్ బి లాట్స్ మోర్ coming up. Yes, it's not only actors, I also have politicians, I have children that I've interviewed. And if you have an interesting story, you will also be interviewed. You can also be part of Why Are You. Yes, there will be another drop of all the shows. Be tuned in to the YouTube channel, and you will get a calendar where each of the shows will keep going live. Do you want me to Niharika, do you want me to advertise the show? Okay, cool, I will advertise the show. If it becomes really popular, then I can buy ad slots in big television channels and advertise for it. Thank you so much for everyone who liked the show. Yes, Vijay Devarkonda and Shruti Hassan will also be in the show. They will come at a later time. Will Rajmouli come? Yes, I will ask him. I don't know if he will come. Happy Diwali, Samyukta. Happy Diwali to you. Prithvi, why am I? This is why I am, to sit and tell you these kind of stories. Well, RGV is RGV, so I think I don't have much more to say to that. Alright, I'll bring Chaitanya on it, okay. I'll bring Charan, I'll bring Chaitanya. Okay, they have to say yes, man. Everybody doesn't like what I do. Breaking stereotypes, yes, I like breaking stereotypes. ఓకే అంటే ఇప్పుడు హీరోల పేరు అందరూ రాశారు. మహేష్ బాబు గారు రాశారు, బన్నీ రాశారు, చరణ్ రాశారు. ఓకే డన్. ఇప్పుడు పని చేస్తారు. జూనియర్ ఎన్టీఆర్ డన్. ఓకే సో పని చేస్తారు. ఇప్పుడు ఈ నాని డన్. మీ కమెంట్స్ అన్నీ చదివేసిన తర్వాత ఫోన్ ఎత్తి ఒక్కొక్కళ్ళకి ఫోన్ చేసి ఈ షో చూపించి ఎవరెవరు వస్తారో ఐ బ్రింగ్ దెమ్ ఆన్. ఓకే కూల్. అయితే మీరు కూడా వాళ్ళ హ్యాండిల్స్కి వెళ్ళి చెప్పండి వైఆర్యూలో రమ్మని. ఓకే is there any chance? Yes, of course it's going to stream again. Keep logging on to the channel and we will send you a calendar of when the shows will start streaming. You want us to do a midnight drop for everybody in the US? So yes, for sure. Send in all your requests. We are up and around and we are connected and we'll keep sending this. మీ కన్వీనియన్స్లో వచ్చేటట్టు, మీ దగ్గరికి వచ్చేటట్టు I'll make sure. வணக்கம் சார், எப்படி இருக்கீங்க? பேர் என்ன? ஜெயராம். வணக்கம். Sunita Swami, hello, namaste. You want me to bring my uncle to the show? Yes, I will bring my uncle to the show. Alright, DQ. Okay, I will bring DQ too. Well, this was my way of connecting all of you to the universe and the world that I know. And yes, say hi to you. Hi to you. Yes, this will be an endless universe. It will be multilingual, so you will hear people talking in Telugu, Tamil, Malayalam, Kannada, Oriya, also Marathi and Konkani, along with Hindi and English. And yes, the idea is to bring back a lot of old classics and old characters into this. Alright guys, thank you. Now I'm going to sign off. Thank you very much. And subscribe to Southbay.Live on YouTube and keep in touch. The calendar will be on for new content and we will keep coming back every festival with newer drops. See you soon. You good? Yes, thank you. Okay, come on, now let's go to review. Me done?